There are 16 million Almajiris today, according to statistics available, because education is downplayed by parents. Their children are put on the street, and those who have the wherewithal to change the situation, who are either in government or have the benefits, only give during the time to do sadaqah, to give gifts to the poor, instead of creating systems. Of course, there will be few and far between, a few people who do, but there is no adequate attempt to educate society. If we depend on state school in the South, we wouldn't have enough education. But we have individuals starting private schools, we have churches starting private schools. So the level of education in the South, I will not be totally wrong if I put it around 70%. In fact, I think things have changed. We have 90-year-olds today who read in this part. However, in the North, from when I was a little child, I'm 60 now, I grew up to see Almajiris who never went to school, who laughed at us for trying to go to school. They sang Emma Karantan Boko ga Karatu ga Sallah ga Yawan Zagi Malam. In other words, you see this word Boko Haram, Boko meant books. They used to joke at those who went to secular schools. So if you downplay and put down a system, nobody wants to go. Those kids who were Almajiris will stand outside and laugh at kids who are coming out of school and make it look like it is unnecessary, it is not good. Why are you going to school? It's a haram. Whereas the privileged send their children to school. Some of the best schools in Nigeria are in the north, Bariwa College, etc., ABU. So you have these mass poor people who keep having children at the age of 3, put a pan in their hand, put them on the street.
Go back for your living.
I must not be a prophet of doom, but I tell you, we are dealing with a hydra that the government, the system, does not even understand as yet. When you have 16 million potential suicide bombers, then you have a major problem on your hands.
I do understand what you're saying, because I schooled in the north as well.
Okay.
I went to school in Kaduna. I went to Federal Government College in Kano.
Okay.
And I understand the problems of Boko Haram as well as the problem of the Almajiris. Now, you having been through that experience,
Yes.
what is your thought? You're a leader, an international leader,
Yes,
by
sir.
virtue of what you do and what God has blessed you with. What do you think will be the right approach the government of Nigeria should be taking?
I think, first of all, if we want to remain as one indivisible nation, then we have to be singing from one hymn. Frankly, the current elders have fractured the nation and created a nepotistic atmosphere where everybody is saying, we are the Arewa Consultative Forum, we are the Agbe Omo Yorubas, we are the Ohanese. Once you do those things, you fracture. I was born in the barracks. I understand Igbo. I understand Hausa. I understand Yoruba. My brother is better than me. He speaks 11. He speaks it well. He married Isha. He speaks it well. When we were raised in the barracks, you didn't even know that the Igbo person or the Hausa was to be suspected. So you ate in one another's house. But these current leaders have fractured the nation. There is need for some degree of healing. How do we do it? Number one, there is need for policies to interface with each other. The Ministry of Education should not be given financial allocations to state governments without policing. Police it and now make it compulsory. Anybody whose child is not in school up to the age of 16 shall be jailed. That's what they do in the UK. After 16, if you like, you may not go to school. But your parents are held responsible for your truancy.
So that should start
That's
with the
one.
parents.
That's
Yes.
that's in the educational part.
Yes.
Then number two, some degree of interfacing with each other. And number three, when it comes to the security situation in the nation, I personally believe that there should be an intermingling of the soldiers, so that it is southern, eastern, whatever, and they're in various places, and it should be dealt with. If a person is arrested, No one from that section should be the one going to plead or deal with them, negotiate with them. How do you negotiate with a man who is bombing everybody? In my opinion, the negotiation stance does not help. When there is actual strong penalty for those caught alive, jailed without option of parole, life imprisonment, somebody will think twice, then raise the educational standard. Because as long as a person is indoctrinated and told that suicide equals to going to heaven, he will do it. He will kill more. And the challenge the nation is dealing with is so major. There is need for also a training of those members of the National Youth Service to not just wear the uniform, go to where you are posted. They should be trained in security, not carrying arms, but be able to know how to detect. If you are working in the bank, know how to detect fraud. So that part of the training now goes beyond the army. It now involves NYSC, and the NYSC involves the kids they teach in schools. The kids they teach in school inform their parents. So everybody becomes security conscious, understand the sense of one Nigeria. So if my neighbor is a likely threat to the nation, I am not silent. I am able to speak out because everyone is carried along. At the moment, we see security as a responsibility of the government, whereas it should actually come down to everyone being trained and made aware. Cursing and swearing at Boko Haram on the screen does not even scratch any surface.
Well, I would love to go on and on and on about this because I know you've got so much to say about the state of the nation, and I think it will be wonderful if we can have you back in the studio just to talk about the state of the nation.
It'll be my pleasure.
Okay, great. So that's a promise from you that we will have you back. But before we even begin to think of wrapping up, I know I've read a couple of your books. There is one that I was so excited about when you released it, about the curse on the black man.
Okay.
And I've always wanted to have a chat with you while I was in London. But we will have that conversation after today. Today it's about a new book that you've just published, Fail Safe Leadership, 55 Reasons Why Our Leaders Fail. And we're talking about practical steps to success.
Yes.
We know that there is dire need for leaders in our nation,
Yes.
especially here in Nigeria.
Yes.
Leaders worth their weight in gold.
Yes.
What are the pointers that you have highlighted here in this book that will make it such that Nigerians should be compelled to read one and to learn from it?
The first truth about Nigeria and Africa is that the greatest challenge of Africa, the greatest challenge of Nigeria, is not the absence of resource, but the challenge of a dire need of quality leadership. If you want to take an example, you look at Dubai. 30 years ago, Dubai was a desert. Nothing there. But Sheikh Al Maktoum had a vision of a state and a nation where people can come and it will be the paradise, the playground of the world. And the rest is history. We need the kind of leaders, number one, who are visionaries. Number two, who are transformational. We need leaders who are motivational. We need leaders who will rise above the mistakes leaders have made. Actually, I have a passion right now to just teach and lecture on leadership. So I'm in the middle of doing these 4 books, and this is the first. It is not a Christian book. It's a secular approach to leadership so that people will understand that the challenge of Africa is leadership. If you look at our continent, we have more resources than Europe.
I actually noticed what you said just now because I got a copy of it last night,
Okay.
and before I went to sleep, I said I must go through this. I must go through this. So I read a few chapters in there before I slept off, and this morning I was looking at it again, and I noticed that it's less. In fact, there is no preaching there.
No, there's
the
nothing.
practical examples, though there are some words of God there that we will see because we learn from it.
Of course.
But in terms of what you believe Nigerians need to do to develop leaders, what will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, top 5 for you?
I think top 5 for me will be for us to reassess our educational system. Number 2, create atmosphere where people get things on the basis of merit. Number 3, the electorates themselves Even if it's a wasted vote, do not vote for a person who only continues to promise us water and road. I mean, that's been the song since 1960. Look for people who have proven track record. Then also look at pointers of success. When you see pointers of success, leaders who are not aloof from the people, leaders who are not paranoid and they do not separate themselves, but leaders who get involved with the people, who are visionary, who are vision-minded, who define. Before we vote next time, we must ask, what do you want to do for Nigeria for the next 4 years that you'll be there, whether it's the presidency or the governorship. When you now define where you are going, then we know how to measure your leadership ability. And when you look at many of our states, they are suffering. Some are borrowing 50 billion, 60 billion when it's not a business. Why borrow such a money when you don't have a business that will pay it back? It just are some of the pointers that some of the situations we've gotten ourselves, I do not know, even in the next 5-10 years, we might not even be run aground by some who have the opportunity to lead us.
Quickly, who would you recommend this book to?
I would recommend the book to anyone who truly sees himself as a leader of the future. I compared leadership and management in this book. Managers want to keep things, they don't want things to fall apart. Leaders are pioneers. They are groundbreakers. They have a helicopter view. They see the great picture. They see the great event. They see what can be achieved and involve everybody in making it happen. Whereas others look and just see the challenges. A leader always sees possibilities.
And before you go, very quickly, do you, fairly now, I know it's not going to be an easy question to answer, do you see leaders like that in Nigeria at this point in time?
I think one of the greatest challenges we have in Nigeria is that some of the political systems have hijacked the nation. There is a dimension of prayer that is needed. I say hijack because when a system hijacks you, it's like when a virus overrides your computer and you're almost unable to do anything. You are just hoping that somebody will come and use a software to repair. There are leaders. I believe the governor of this state, His Excellency Governor Fashola, shows leadership. Some of the areas of transformation you didn't know or expect, you see. Like, just take something as simple as Oshodi. You drive past Oshodi and say, no, it's a lie.
It didn't happen.
It's a lie. You know? I drove past there, I think 2 days ago, going to my parents-in-law, and I'm seeing this park and a beautiful place. I say, it's a lie. No, I didn't see that.
Well, we want to say thank you very much.
My
and
pleasure.
we will definitely take you up on the offer of coming back to talk about the state of the nation.
Return.
We've been, yes, we're looking, hasta la vista.
I shall return, General MacArthur. I shall return.
By God's special grace, yes,
Yeah.
we're looking forward to that. We've been speaking with Pastor Matthew Ashimolowo, the founder and senior pastor of Kingsway International Christian Church in the UK and worldwide. And we thank him very much for coming. And of course, we'll mention again the book. We're in dire need of leaders in Nigeria. So do go out there and get a copy of Fail Safe Leadership. 55 Reasons Why Our Leaders Fail. Practical Steps to Success. We do need more leaders in Nigeria, even if some people are already blazing the trail. So don't go away. We will be back shortly.